Hi, I'm Nick Schlichtenberg. I'm coming to you from downtown Mayville, Wisconsin, just 5 minutes from my home in Horicon. And like many small towns in Wisconsin, you'll find that there are many histories and mysteries here. So once you go away from the downtown streets, you'll find that there are many traces of narratives, stories from hundreds of years ago that have since been forgotten. Just a block east of Main Street in downtown is the Mayville City Dam. And behind those trees lies the destination of our field trip. Once you get to the top of the steps, you will come across St. Mary's Catholic Church. If you take a right past the church, you will find our field trip destination. Once you get to the top of the hill, you will come to the intersection of South German Street and High Street. And you're going to take a left onto High Street. You will come to the intersection of Neighbor Street and High Street, which is where you'll find our field trip destination, which is this little old cemetery. But the cemetery itself is not my subject matter. The subject matter, or matters, are some of the particular gravestones that you will come across. Take a look around at the cemetery. It's pretty normal for the most part. You can see their names on the stones, like Hoffman back there. But is there anything that seems out of place to you or abnormal? Take a look at this stone down here. There's nothing written on it either side. There's no name, no year. Most of the years on these stones are from the 1800s. So I ask you, as you bring yourself on this field trip by yourself, why do you think there's no legible name or year on this stone? Do you think it's older than the other stones? Do you think it could be from the 1700s? Or do you think it was made with a different type of stone that wore out a lot quicker? As you can see, this stone has a name, Gertrude, and years, 1883 to 1884. But that isn't the case for a lot of these stones. When you get over here, there are any other stones that seem peculiar to you, like one that might not even be a stone, like this metal cross. This cross marks a grave, but there are no years on it, no name. What do you think about this? Why do you think it's falling over? Do you think it's that much older than the other ones? Do you think the name and year wore off? Or do you think the person who's buried here chose not to have anything written on their grave marking? Is there anything else in this area that looks out of place or like it might stand out? Like this stuffed animal and ball here surrounding this gravestone? It's hard to see what the years are on this stone. I can see 1908 right there. But do you think that these were left here because this was a child or a baby who was buried here? Do you think that parents or grandparents left toys here to remember this child or baby? Or do you think these were just left here randomly? And this stuffed animal and ball appear to have been here for a long time. They're dirty and worn out, but not as long as 1908. So is there someone who is a relative of the person buried here who still lives in the area and still keeps coming back to leave items by the grave? There are a lot of things that you can wonder about, many quandaries you can make. So I ask, as you bring yourself on this field trip, what do you think of this subject matter? This old ball and stuffed animal, the metal cross. Why do you think these were left here? Why do you think this was placed here? So if you're ever wondering about mysteries in Wisconsin, come on out to Mayville, check out this cemetery or any other traces of history in the area. See for yourself.